before we get started, hopefully Jesse's watching. I don't know if he is. I know he loves hockey, so there's a good chance that he is. I think all of us in this room here together, Jess, everybody's here. You probably can't see them, but I think all of us can agree. We want to just send you best wishes and let you know we're thinking about you through this time. And we'll see you back at the rink soon. Okay. Yeah, let's hear it for Jesse. Okay.
Jim, kind of felt like maybe an odd game to evaluate. It seems like you guys were really skating well, but chances were really back and forth.
Yeah.
Kind of see there.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't think the execution was great. That was the concern. Thought we skated really well early. And then we kind of were hanging on. They had a little bit. They didn't have much through the first two periods, but third period they were better than us. We were hanging on a little bit. But listen, we'll take it. You know what I mean? We're not going to overanalyze it. First one out of the gate, won the game. We'll take it. We weren't bad, but we just, always want more.
After the break, isn't it a little tough though to expect a really quick start like nothing's happened?
It is. I mean, it's easy to expect it. It's hard for the players to execute it, I think. When I go back to the game, I think it was against Edmonton out of the Christmas break, there was like 4 days there where nobody did much. And that was an unbelievable game. The execution was good. It was played at a really high level. I didn't think we hit that tonight. Yeah.
Jim, Drew's played a lot of minutes naturally in the games with you guys. How much is tonight and just a pure example of the fingerprints that he can leave all over again?
Yeah, it was clearly his best game. I thought the first game that he really looked like himself. We ran him quite a bit before he left. He didn't look completely comfortable. I thought tonight he really looked comfortable. And what I liked when you look at those minutes, those guys were, I think, between 21 and 22, the four of those guys, you know what I mean? So nobody got ran too hard there. And they're all capable of playing more minutes than that. We've seen that before. So we'll see what that minute distribution looks like. But, I thought Drew was really good. One of his, as good as I can even remember going back to last year. That would have been one of probably his top 10 games.
So how much does how much does that Four Nations, and he even said that's something that really helped bring him up to speed. Sort of how much does that help and help you guys even going forward here when you're having someone that's, peaking even though he missed as much time as he did?
Yeah, well, I mean, I look at it like this. It was really good for Drew. I think it certainly looked like it really worked out well for Team Canada. But I think, in the end, we're probably the biggest benefactors, just getting him back in the rhythm that he is in. And, he's a really important player for the organization, and we know that. But it felt good. We were all commenting like, wow, okay, we forgot we had missed that, that kind of game from Drew. So we'll look forward to more of that.
How much he has been improved since then? I mean, in what ways do you see that it looks like it's so much better?
He looked just really calm for me. He looked really calm. He looked quick. It just looked like he just has a rhythm. I mean, that's the biggest thing. I mean, clearly he's in better shape than when he left, and he just found his rhythm, And that's all coming a lot quicker. I talked to Blakey about it. We were like, it's probably going to be 20, 25 games to really see him play like we expected him to play and like he's played it many times before. I saw that tonight. So hopefully that Four Nations thing really got him over the top and accelerated.
He said he really liked playing alongside Joel Edmondson. Are you looking for a permanent kind of partner for him at this point, or is it just going to be seeing what clicks the best?
Yeah, I mean, nothing's ever permanent around here. I think you guys know that. But no, we see that. We like those guys. And they're almost interchangeable, those four really are. At different times, you'll see them together. But I think we like Mikey and Gabby have, had a good season together. So it doesn't feel like it makes a lot of sense just to break that up because Drew's back. Drew can play with Eddie. Drew will get his minutes. He has important minutes. So, the four of them like that, gives us a really, really strong foundation back there. So we'll see where it goes, but we kind of like the four of them as they're distributed now.
Jim, you talk about minute distribution. For Drew Gowdy, that's only 21
Right.
minutes in a game. Was that just a consequence of a quick turnaround time for Four Nations, or is there a plan to maybe be more cerebral and not have him play those 25-plus minutes than that we're used to?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, there'll be times that he gets that, but I think we ran him pretty hard before, but Mikey was out. So Mikey and Gabby have been playing, 25, 27 different nights. I think you'll just see Smitty spread those a little bit more between them, but I don't think you'll see one guy at 28 and the other guys at 18, 19, 20. I think they'll probably be a little bit more balanced than we've seen in past years.
Alex LaFerrier, he gets that big goal for you. There's also that play late
Yeah,
in the
what a
second,
play, yeah.
just that hustle play. How much does that just embody like what he brings to your group most of the
Yeah, that's really impressive. There's a lot of things that happened over the course of a game, some nice goals, nice plays, and everything. But that's probably the moment that sticks out for me. You know, that's a player that you're like, yeah. You know what I mean? That's one of those moments where you're like, that's impressive. That time on the clock, that effort draws a penalty out of the whole thing, right? Yeah, I don't know what to say, but I'll tell you what, coaches notice something like that.
On the opposite side of the minutes, Brent Clark only had, I think, 7 shifts, a little over 5 minutes. Is there something you didn't like about his game early that caused that, or what was it taking on that?
I mean, it's hard with 7D, so it's hard to balance the minutes with 7D because you unfortunately, the one guy's there as a support, and depending on how the game plans out, there's just different things that can happen within the game. But sometimes the downside of 7 is if you play one guy too much, then you play somebody else, and now you've got 2 or 3 guys, or 2 guys, maybe 3, that are out of their rhythm. So it becomes, okay, who's going better? We want to keep one guy in better rhythm than the other guy. And, you know, tonight that's just the way it shook out.
And obviously, the objective 1, 2, and 3 for this team is to win hockey games. But is there any concern that usage with him, if it becomes more consistent, could harm his development, especially with how important he should and can be for this team moving forward?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I'd use the word harm, and I don't know, like, yeah, I don't know. I don't think I would use that word harm develop. We don't want Clarkie playing 5 minutes a night. That's really obvious. That's for sure. That's not. I don't think that's good for a young player at all, right? So what's better? What are the alternatives? You know, get in and play 15 or 12, and you know. So we'll just see.
Coach, you look at Fiala's game. Looked like he didn't miss a beat from where he left off before
Yeah.
the break.
Yeah, he was dangerous, right? I mean, it was really dangerous. And the one on the backhand, he hit the post. We've talked about Kevin quite a bit. I don't want to talk about him too much more, but I think we're going to see, like, you know, we've seen flashes over 2 seasons, I think, or 2.5 seasons now, of him being like a really, really consistent, dangerous threat. I think we'll see that the rest of the way.
Coach, 45th anniversary of the Miracle today.
Is it?
Yeah.
Wow, I remember
You have
watching
any,
that game.
what
I remember watching that one, yeah. Oh, it was incredible. Yeah, it was incredible. Because at that time, I think, you know, of course we were going for Canada. I was in Canadian, but I remember watching that whole tournament, and I watched against the Swedes. It was a Buddy Baker. Remember the slap shot? Somebody scored late to tie it. That was early in the tournament, and they started building. But do I got that right? Probably got the name wrong. And 80, so I was 11.
Right.
And I just remember pulling for the Americans so much, and it just felt like the North America versus the Russians at that time, because you know the U.S. was representing all of us. I thought at that time, incredible. What a game, what a moment. Yeah.
Jim, obviously a big one today for the team, but there's a big event, here tomorrow. Knowing what's going on within the celebrity game and all the funds being raised for the fire, how important is it for everybody to kind of come back here tomorrow and have a big day for you?
I think it's really good, and I think what happens. We all went through it in our own way, and then like happens, life goes on, and everybody moves on to these other things. And I think it's great that we have the opportunity to go back, thank, respect, think back to what happened and how bad it was, and just at least show us, in another way, show some support, raise some funds for sure. And of course, we got a terrific lineup, players, celebrities coming in. I think it's going to be a great day. It's going to be a great hockey day, and obviously, the funds that are going to be raised are going to the right people, the right causes.
One more thing about the 4 nations. From a coach, I mean, you probably just holding your breath. Please, nothing happened to my guys, right?
That's priority one, yeah.
And then at the same time, are you surprised at the amount of passion that came together so quickly for this thing?
No, not at all. And I don't think any of us should be, or we wouldn't be sitting in here. We know what hockey players are made of, and that's why we're all sitting in here, because to be around it and to feel it is a pretty, to cover it, to talk about it, write about it, it's pretty cool, because these guys they're impressive. So no, I wasn't surprised.
Jim LaFerriere mentioned you told the guys that maybe it was going to take 4 or 5 games for the league as a whole to get up to speed again after that break. Is there any change in message from you for those 4 or 5 games to maybe simplify things and play a different game or anything?
Yeah, so I'll help laugh there on that one. So I think, it's going to take 4 or 5 games. Everybody will get back up to speed, and the league's going to get tight. And just as we left off, people are playing. So there's an opportunity for some teams to try to get ahead of that 4 or 5 games, and if we can tighten it up a little quicker than other teams, then I think we give ourselves an advantage over those 4 or 5 games. Then once you hit that mark, everybody's playing and everybody's ready again. So the message is over this next 4 or 5, let's put extra focus, let's spend more time, let's do it together and try to just get a little jump on the league.